Yes, I'm talking today about accountability. I think it's one of the initial steps we have to come to when we're truth-seeking in a spiritual sense. We have to find our own accountability within ourselves, and we have to understand that the truth about, are we being accountable about ourselves? Are we being accountable for our actions, our thoughts, our judgments? Many people shy away from the word judgment, and I don't think that that's realistic. We're always going to judge. I'm going to give a little scenario here. The scenario is not sexist. It may appear sexist, but this is just a rudiment that I see happening daily. A man and a woman go out to bars. They're not together. They meet in a bar. They hit it off. They go back to her house. The inevitable happens, and this is followed by a couple phone calls back and forth, maybe broken dates for coffee, but nothing ever materializes. Well, 3 months later, the girl ends up pregnant. At this point, we have four options that our society gives. Our social development has brought us to this point where now this person who, because of her lack of accountability for her body, all of a sudden she's in control of her body, and not only her body but other people's future. In a sense, she's getting rewarded for that her moments of unaccountability. She's getting rewarded and empowered. The first scenario she has to face is whether she's going to abort. Now she's aborting something that is a lot more attached than if she'd have taken the morning after pill after having her wild escapade or enjoying herself with another person. But regardless, now she's got this decision to make, and it's given to her without the accountability or understanding that the whole deal was because of lack of accountability for her body. Now their body, she's saying that her body is whatever she wants it to be. But if she aborts, then everything goes back to before, and there is nothing held accountable except the psychological realization of the abortion. But if she carries the baby to term, then she also has two other options. The first option is she goes after the young man that was equally unaccountable for his body, and she saddles him with 18 years of child support. Now, I say this not to add to or take from. That's probably what should happen most of the time. But the idea that she has the option, that she's empowered to have the option to either control this man's life or to remove the growing life within her, is kind of like empowerment to me. And this is the way I see it. I see that this is an empowerment, and this does women a great disservice because they're encouraged by their lack of accountability. And this is not women alone. This is just one instance. But the lack of accountability here on the second element of keeping the child is, okay, now we can, the other option is to take the child and sign up for social services. And now she's getting a check and medical and food stamps, whatever the situation may be, or the government affords that. Again, she's being benefiting. She's benefiting in a sort of, there's people who do this. They actually have children for income. I don't believe that we should be we should have, we should empower people in this manner for their unaccountability for their body, and now we say, okay, now this is your body, and it's like a dual standard. The fourth option in this scenario is that she actually becomes accountable. And as she says, this is my body. I'm responsible for what happens into my body. Bottom line. And this fits the broad spectrum. And she says, okay, this is my responsibility. I'm going to have the child. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to work twice as hard because I have to be accountable for my actions. Very seldom this happens. I believe it's like 2% of unwed mothers actually go through this. This is just one statement. The accountability within the legal system. There's TV show Cops, and now we're not holding a lot of brutalities within our substructure of the police. We're not holding them accountable. This is normal for them to beat people with billy clubs. They call it a felony takedown when they use force right off the bat. It's not constitutional, and we don't hold them accountable. We give them excuses. Accountability in relationships for lying. The idea is that most salesmen, I sold cars for a while, I couldn't lie. That's a part of the life is the lie. We're going to try to establish truth while we're lying. That doesn't make any sense at all. The other thing is hiding behind a mask. Makeup, clothing, all these things are an illusion, and causes us to portray ourselves differently. I've watched people put makeup on, and people really near and dear to me, and I'd watch them go from almost depressed, matter-of-fact ho-hum, to an elevated status in the process of 10 or 15 minutes of this application. This is it is not even so much an illusion, it's a delusion. How can we progress? I've watched men put a sports car on, and they turn into somebody else. They put a clean shirt on and turn into somebody else. Put a hat on, and they turn into somebody else. These are illusions that we encourage, just as the accountability is not encouraged. When we encourage people in everyday life and ourselves to say what we mean, and once we emit words or emit actions, that we're going to be cemented into making sure that we're going to remain accountable for what we do and what we say. Once we get there, I believe that then we're starting to the very slightest essence of truth. It's not all beat down. Actually, it's a lift up for what we actually are. People say, "Oh, I need that. That makes me feel good." Well, we should be able to feel good from just that which is within us. And to paint this other stuff on our face, it clouds that. To put these clothes on clouds that. To put the sports car on, to get the image, and music I love music, but if in excess, it clouds our perception. We need to clear that. Once we clear the water, then it's safe to drink. Thank you.